This piece of business advice breaks my brain. I cannot tell you how many times I heard it and I wanted to scream. I don't want to blow out the mic, so I'm not really going to scream because I'm loud, but I wanted to scream. And it's so not hard, y'all. It's so not hard. Susan Hyatt is the first person who told me this. God, I love Susan Hyatt. Love you, Susan. But I hate this piece of advice. And it's correctamundo as well. What is this advice that's got me all twisted? Have fun. Susan Hyatt swears the more fun you have, the more money you make. And I'm always pushing back and saying, but isn't it the harder you work, the more money you make? And she said, Kendrick, darling, when are you going to learn? She literally taught me this the first year I was in business. Have more fun. And I got to tell y'all, like, I love the camera. I know that's not a surprise, but I am so much more expressed in front of the camera than I am in real life. I mean, I do goofy things. I'm not really goofy in real life. Now, I'm not saying that I am inauthentic on the camera. It's just, this is a dimension of my personality that seems so fun and so big, but in real life, I forget how to have fun. I know, that sounds so like, wait, what? I remember Susan said to me, have more fun, have more fun. So I went away on this girls' weekend and we had a lot of fun. I mean, we wore the day out at both ends. And I came home and I called Susan or texted her, I don't know, got in touch with Susan. I was like, okay, I had fun all weekend and I am exhausted. I don't know how to have fun and then come back to work. And y'all, this is a serious question. Like Jenny Shee and I have had this conversation so many times. Like, how do we have more fun? And Susan laughed and said, Kendrick, you need to have more restorative fun. I was like, well, what the flip is restorative fun? I mean, I don't even know what fun is. What is restorative fun? Here's what I know. Susan is right that without fun, without spicing up the mundane that even your own business can become, you get to burnout a lot quicker. You get to flirting with the idea of walking away from it all. You even get to thinking, oh, hell, I'll go back and get a real job. Not that this is not a real job. I bet if we polled all female business owners or entrepreneurs who have been in business for over 3 years, over half of them would say, yep, there's been a day when I considered going back to my 9 to 5. Even though we got the dream right here, y'all. The key to freedom, to money, to the life. And yet, I bet we've all, or at least half of us, have secretly fantasized about going back to work because it was so much easier, so much more reliable. And even if you haven't had that thought or that daydream or that whatever, when life goes sideways, what I mean by sideways, when there's a death in your family or an illness in your family, or you gotta have freaking neurosurgery. Yep, I'm gonna keep talking about it because I had neurosurgery. Okay? Okay. When that happens and all that pressure is piled on top of the stress of running your business and the day-to-day mundaneness, and you're not having fun, it makes it incredibly hard to plug back into work. So it's time for a soap sales story. This is a short one though. September 12th, 2022, my Aunt Joyce died. She was 90 years old. She died on her birthday. And it was unexpected, or as unexpected as it can be for a 90-year-old to die. She was healthy. She drove. I mean, like, the woman did not look nor behave 90. And without going into all the details, I was really close to my Aunt Joyce. My brother and I were really close. She had no children, so really, really close to Aunt Joyce. And my brother and I were literally with her when she died. And that's not news. Y'all know that, right? What you don't know is how bad that affected me. So less than a week later, I gave the eulogy at her funeral, and then it's plugged back into life. You know, you've had a death in your family before. You've had a death of somebody you love, and it's plugged back in. And on September 12th, 2022, we were preparing to launch Authentic Selling University. I believe that may have been the middle of the launch, the first day of the launch. And I came back, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't go live. I couldn't email. I couldn't. There were people on my team saying, you know, Kendrick, you've got to be visible. You got to. And y'all, I couldn't. I didn't know that it was grief. I just knew that this business was not where I wanted to be. And then March of 2023 happened. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months later, all the neuro stuff happened. And I had surgery in April. So I had a whole year, basically, where I could not. Even when I tried, you could pick up on the energy that it just wasn't right. I flirted with not coming back. And here's the kicker. I got so much bad advice during that time. Well-meaning people who loved me. I'm not upset about it. I appreciate everybody who cares enough to tell me that they care about me, you know? But I had bad advice for 13 years in this industry about my personality. Some of it I've shared, right? Like, you sound too country, you sound dumb, wear glasses. But also about my all or nothing personality. You gotta find balance. You gotta do it this way. You're gonna kill yourself running that hard. Well, what y'all don't see is the part where I unplug, because I unplug pretty dang hard too. Like, I will cocoon on that couch and not move my rear and unplug. And that's fun to me. That's the kind of fun Susan Hyatt was talking about. One night in the summer after I'd had neurosurgery, I had been pulling weeds for about 3 hours. Y'all, I didn't know that you were supposed to wear gloves when you pulled weeds. There was mud everywhere. On my face, under my nails that broke, all over me. And I thought it was funny, so I sent a picture to my dad, and he was like, oh my God, Kendrick, I hope there was no poison ivy. It's like, what the frick? What do you mean? It's all on my face. But I love pulling weeds. It's fun for me. Pulling freaking weeds, I love it. I do it all the time. When I was at the beach this year, I went outside and talked to Jenny. She on the phone and pulled weeds at the complex where we stayed for an hour. There's something just so satisfying about hearing the root go. I love it. That's the kind of fun Susan Hyatt was talking about. But she was never in the world going to be able to tell me, Kendrick, you're going to have fun pulling weeds, right? You got to discover the fun for yourself. And slowly, after realizing that, actually, I kind of like my all or nothing personality. Actually, I kind of like the bigness of my personality. Actually, you know what? This is my space and I'm going to own it. Thank you for your opinion. No, I'm not running a pyramid scheme. This is my space and I'm going to own it, and I'm going to own it big. What slowly started to happen was I began to find ways to have more fun. Now, this has been a, 12 or 13 year journey, y'all. I've tried it all. And the whole time I kept thinking, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do it like everybody else? Why can't I have this balance thing where I start work and take a break and I don't know, however the frick you're supposed to do it? I'm not wired that way. And that's okay. I'm not broken. That's what I realized. And the more I went out into nature, yes, Chris Young, I'm looking at you. I know, nature. And pulled those weeds, laid on that couch, and watched TV, and put my sleep mask on, and slept and healed, and didn't do the things that, quite honestly, my team was pushing me to do, the more I healed from the inside out. So, when I came back, you know, there was Kendrick 2.0, not what I'm talking about, because she can't come to the phone right now. Why? Say it with me, because she's dead. And now it's just Kendrick. And I like Kendrick. Kendrick has fun. Kendrick relaunched the boy band project Opt-In because it was fun. Kendrick changed the whole structure of YouTube because it was fun. Yeah, it's freaking weird to talk about myself in the third person. Just go with it, please. I know that I started this business 13 freaking years ago on my own. I made this business successful. My all or nothing personality worked just fine there. Why in the world do you care about all this? Because I'm hoping to save you years of trying to figure out what works for you. I'm hoping to save you years of do this, do this, do this. Be you. Bring all the dimensions of yourself in. If you don't know how, we'll talk about it on an upcoming ASTV. Get to meet all the dimensions of yourself. Get to meet the star, if you have a star, meaning yourself as a star. Get to meet the person who loves to shop or whatever. Get to know her and then bring all those things into your business. And then you don't need somebody to tell you how to have fun, because business will become fun. Susan Hyatt was right 13 years ago. Fun is an absolute part of a business that makes money. You bring the fun, the restorative fun. Go pull weeds, whatever your thing is. And know this, I don't think you're broken either. You may be aspiring to different or better, but just know that may not always be the answer. You may have everything you need inside of you to decide what's best for you. That's pretty damn fun too. I believe in you, and I believe in your business.